Have some Q&A to do. I hope you're doing fine, 'cause it's Q&A time again. Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing great. If not, as always, I hope it gets better for you. So welcome to another Friday Night Live Q&A, where we hang out, talk about fish, shrimp, and or plants, and pretty much bring the community to you guys to be able to help you guys if you're having problems as well. So big thank you to the community. Big shout out to all you guys for even making this a thing and keeping it going and all that jazz. So hello, welcome you all. Let me go ahead and get into live chat. Now we're getting things rolling. How is the quality of the Wi-Fi? That's what we would like to know. We were thinking about trying it downstairs, because he has been working on getting it downstairs as well. I'm LRB, Lucas, for those who haven't seen this content yet, and this is Nathan, Aquatic Piece, who is taking over the fish room so we can build a new fish room in Florida and all that jazz. But for those who have been following along, kind of know the story. But yeah, if you're interested in getting to know that, you gotta just kind of go back a few videos. Yeah, doing great so far as Wi-Fi. Good to hear. Carol Cox says best wishes to all. Yeah, same here. Best wishes to all as well. Crazy world we live in. We just got to keep our heads up and keep plugging along. No fear, you know. Well, happy Friday to you too, Monos Marine. Good to see you in here. Good to see a lot of you guys in here. But yeah, as far as this week, just been kind of steady, just working on trying to get the outflow system still done for him. It's a lot of process, a lot of parts and pieces. What it was, I calculated it to like 10,000 some processes or something just for like the main fish room. That's with all the different pieces and gluing and putting together and measuring out all that stuff. Surges Aquatics says, how are your Norigas crocatus doing? So I think if that's the Latin name, I do not know the Latin name of my newts, but I think that kind of rings a bell to them. If that's what you mean, then they're actually doing pretty good. They are living. He's got a picture of them on his Instagram, right?
Yep, on Instagram.
And I've been feeding them Daphne. I've got blackworms in the tank for them. I've got shrimp in the tank for them. So they've got a lot of natural live food that they can eat on. And then we also throw tetratropical granules into that tank. That way, if the newts aren't eating it, the shrimp and or worms will eat it. And all you guys, thank you so much for the support that you've given Aquatic Piece this week.
Yes,
as well.
It's been amazing. Thank you very much.
So big thank you to you guys. But all right, Davo says, Lucas, you got to pay rent in your house now. Yeah. No, if anything, I should be billing him an invoice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No rent. No. He's doing way too much to pay any rent.
We're just playing the waiting game right now to get money to go through to get our house. So we're just kind of stuck in limbo, but we'll get there. We just got to be patient. It's not easy being patient, but part of life, right? Yep. Kenny Reynolds says 5 years raising shrimp. Thanks to you. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. That is awesome to hear, Kenny. And congrats to you for staying in it so long. I'm sure you know quite a bit of thing or two. Can't go 5 years without learning something. Joel G, good to see you in here. Hope you're doing well. All right, seems like a pretty calm Friday. We got 60 in here. Nobody's got questions. Let's see, anything else this week? I literally just got off the road, went and visited family, because my family lives like an hour and a half from me, and not going to see them for a while since we're going to be moving to Florida. So we just kind of raced here to get on here, and that's why I'm a little bit late. I had to get something to eat. I knew I was going to be really close, but there's no way I was going to make it without any food because I haven't eaten all day long. You know, they were talking about getting dinner right before we left, and that's what reminded me, like, oh crap, we gotta get going. But yeah, that was today. And been missing my fish tanks, that's for sure. We got all kinds of babies in here now.
Oh yeah, we got a ton of rice fish babies all of a sudden. There's probably 50 in that basket. They're all over the place.
And then we got Cory cats going, and then you got a bunch of guppies and antlers started popping out.
Pop. Yeah.
It's like spring is in the air, so you guys get into breeding fish and stuff. Now is a good time to really get them triggered and going, even for like those seasonal spawners. Well, yeah, good to see that things are breeding around here and still doing their thing. Hi guys, do flying fox eat plants? Like maybe some decaying material they might. I don't think they're gonna actually eat like a live plant. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe if it's a soft, yummy subwasser tang, possibly. If it's like a hard hornwort or Luigia or Hygrophilia, might be different. But if it's soft tissue, they probably could. What kind of Cory cats are the red Venezuelan Aeneas? All right, no more questions. Let's see what else has been going on. Usually, you guys got questions for me, so I can just rack them out. And I haven't really been in my fish room, so it's really hard to be like, oh yeah, this and this and this is going on.
I did my first week of shipping. It went pretty good, I think.
Yeah. So his first week of shipping, like we were here to help him in case he had questions and stuff. And I mean, he had a few questions and were justifiable, and he just pretty much ran with it. I didn't really have to do much. I was working on other things while I was around here. Got you a new pump into the outflow system, which I did get some footage of. Hoping to plan on getting that into a video for you guys. I've just been debating on whether I want to put that outflow system in one video or do the new system in another video. So either jam it all into one long video or two small videos. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys like the longer videos with more information, or the like a short video and just more videos? I mean, that's the way I would go. Me personally, I don't have the attention span for many videos over 10 minutes. Half the time anymore. Depends on what it's about. Sandy Cheek says, what shrimp can I do outside for summer tubbing? Neocaridinias are great for outdoor tubbing because they really don't have a problem with the fluctuation of temperatures. And that all depends on where you live too. So if you get a whole lot of fluctuation, caridinias might be pretty tough. With the caridinias, the main thing is just not having KH in your water. And they do like more of a consistent temperature instead of all the fluctuation. But if you got hard water and fluctuating temperatures, definitely neocaridinia. I'm sure you could keep... Ammonos are pretty hardy too. You can do Ammonos out there. Two Cooley, for Schooly, always good to see you. Says, I have a female Endler who gave birth yesterday, and now she looks like her spine is bending down. Any ideas? Yeah, it sucks. It just kind of happens sometimes. Fish will break their backs. Their spines will get all funky. Either something went wrong with the birth, or maybe she freaked out and jerked too hard and broke her back. I don't know. But I've seen it happen very often in fish. Carl M., what's the common name for those Lucas? I don't think they have a common name. They're kind of newer, I believe. Hence why I had them. Derek Wallace says, flying fox will definitely eat certain mosses like flame mosses. Interesting. Good to know, Derek. Thank you for sharing. Scroll. Devarium Mitchum. Always good to see you. Planaria, what's the deal? Oh, good old Planaria. Free fish food, right? Our shrimp's arch nemesis. Diane S says, when is Lucas going to start his videos? Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. It's just with the family, being into the hotel, and then also trying to spend my time. I've been spending quite a bit of time with Nathan, really trying to hammer out this water change system for him, just so it'll be easier on him, because, I mean, it's a lot to take care of, and I know that by firsthand, and it would just make everything just so much easier. Plus, I got all the equipment for it, and there's not really like a guy he could be like, hey, dude, will you come, like, plumber, dude? Can I pay you like hundreds of hours to come here and try to figure this out, what this guy was trying to put together with this equipment? So I don't think that's going to actually work. So I've been making sure I'm here to actually do that for him. And like I mentioned, it has like thousands upon thousands of processes. It's just time consuming. It's not real tough, and I'm gonna share it with you guys too whenever I get done, because for those who have multiple tanks, or maybe even if you got one tank and you're just lazy and you want things to get done at the press of a button, it's a really cool trick and setup. And I got to give MD Fish Tanks shout out for it, because he kind of inspired me to create this system with something that he did. IF333 says, just came across a Neo molt that was full of eggs. Never seen that before. Any thoughts? Best thing to do is just let it sit. If you get lucky, then maybe they're close enough to be hatched, and without you disturbing them, shouldn't mess with them too much. But if they're not, then it's just going to become shrimp food. But yeah, it happens sometimes, especially if they're newer to your tank, and it's very common that they will drop their first batches of berries. Lee Owen says, has anyone done fried cardinia shrimp appetizer? I can't say I have, but I think they do fry up those types of shrimp over in some of the Eastern cultures. I don't know if it's Thailand or Korea or China. I don't know. I couldn't tell you which one, but I did see it on something where they did actually have it on the street. But I think they were more like neocaridina looking. Let's see. Munoz Marine, your opinion on sponge filter versus matte filter versus no filter. So they all have their own benefits. Sponge filter is just holding more bacteria. It doesn't push a whole lot of water through it. It does kind of mix through the bacteria on the sponge, but with the ones that they make, they don't actually make anyone that is actually that great at doing so. So, I mean, they're okay. They hold the beneficial bacteria, which helps balance a little bit, but over time they can get crusty if you don't take care of them. And then with the matte filters are actually really nice, and I am a fan of them as far as the water quality and how they clean. But as far as if you're breeding fish or keeping shrimp, like, they can climb over them, they can get stuck in the cracks, all that jazz. But that, and they take up space in a tank, so you got to take that into account. But the way that they push the water through the bacteria is really, really good for water quality. And then with no filter is nice because it's quiet. Really, your water changes is pretty much your filtration. You're like the rain or the stream. You're the flow of the water of the tank. And as long as you're being more consistent, it's pretty easy to do. Even though you don't have to be that consistent, the only thing that I will start seeing is, like, maybe some tanks will start getting a little tinge from too much food for too long, and no actually exchange from that. Depends on how heavy you're feeding. But really, I mean, you got enough microorganisms in these no filter tanks that they clean up a lot of that. And I have gone years with doing these no filter method in a lot of these tanks without doing water changes. And if I were doing constant water changes, I would be up to my ears in plants. I wouldn't even know what to do. And then as far as, like, you have full system, another way to do it too, if you had, like, all your tanks onto a central system. If you had all your tanks onto one system and then it runs into, like, maybe a sump system or like something like that, those are actually really good because you can kind of customize them to their how you want to clean them, and like you could have multiple foams. Like maybe I'll clean these two foams, and you'd still have your beneficial bacteria in one, so you don't strip it too clean. It actually keeps a lot of that good beneficial bacteria in it. That's good. The only downfall with the central systems is you definitely want to make sure you have a quarantine somewhere else out of that system, because you don't want to end up treating that system, because that could get pricey real quick with meds. Then at the same time, when it comes to breeding, um, blocking your fish off from getting into that sump and mixing. So if you got different rainbows that you're trying to breed, and you get multiple types of rainbows in your sump, you don't know which is which, you're gonna have to grow that fish out till it's an adult to figure that out. And me being a rainbow fish breeder, that's something I really think about. So all good systems, anytime you can push water through bacteria, things that hold bacteria, then I mean, you're really gonna end up doing good for your water. And technically, we're really keeping the water as much as we're keeping the fish, if not more, because the water that we're keeping really dictates on how well that fish is going to be doing in its life. And Big D's Aquatics, my brother, thank you so much for the huge $50 super chat. Says, I have antlers that are starting to lose their top fin. Any ideas to treat without killing my neos? Like their top fins starting to rot off. I would check on the chlorine, and I don't know what your water source is, but sometimes their biofilm, that skin, what's the name of that? Their skin coat, pretty much. If it starts getting bad, that could start wearing down their fins. So either too clean, sterile water or too soft water could end up causing that. So maybe harden that water up. Maybe try the Fritz stress coat. That could help you out. I know the API fungus cure can do a pretty good job with that if it is kind of fungus-like looking. Usually there's a sign if you see them losing their fin. Now, if it's red or something else like that, then it could either be something completely different. And then if there's any culprits that are maybe biting or nipping, I don't know what all you have in there, but sometimes even those females can get pretty aggressive towards each other to where they will bite each other's fins, and they can kill males and vice versa. Like, we think of antlers and guppies as peaceful fish, but it's not always true. They do have big clashes. So hopefully these ideas will help you maybe assess the situation a little better, and hopefully it helps. And I will be looking out for any of your comments if you do have more to add. But thank you, Big D. That is awesome of you. And Large K, thank you, my brother, for the continued support again. $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. Hope you're having a good Friday. And I really, really appreciate you. Big time. Because, you're pretty much, you guys are definitely helping me buy tanks right now at this point. Kurt Brunning says, how would Brazilian Pennywort do floating with a glass lid? So, I'm not a big fan of no filter glass lids. I'll just say that outright. Now, if you got a filter, it's not as big of a deal because you do get oxygen exchange. But the big part of no filter is having that atmospheric oxygen. Because even with tanks, even though there's tons of plants in here, you do still want some area that has oxygen exchange that you can get to, or that the tank can get to. And that will make a big difference. And if you put tops on them, that could be very problematic. But you can do it if you have some kind of flow system going, whether it be an airline or something like that. The only problem, which I don't think the Pennywort actually cares about the humidity. Some plants will, where they get that constant drip, and they just don't like that. But with the Pennywort, I don't think it cares. I've never actually done it, so I can't give you 100% sure. Because I do like my open tops. And if I have a jumping fish, I'll use that egg crate, which is like a grid piece that goes over lighting, usually in industrial settings or commercial. Carla M says, Nathan, what is the name of your channel?
Aquatic Peace.
Aquatic Peace.
And videos should be starting, hopefully a short one tomorrow, and then hopefully some more longer ones next week. Nice. Now that things have hopefully settled down somewhat.
Now that you're kind of getting into it and learning the shipping, got your first week of shipping in. Yeah. I mean, Rome wasn't built overnight. Like, this is all stuff that takes process, and we thank you so much for your patience with us. Yeah. Because these are big moves, and it is a process, and things take time. Like, it's not as easy as just talking to you guys about it. Like, we got to physically do stuff, lots of stuff to make the years go. And it's been awesome. So that is awesome to hear, because I was wondering when you're going to have a video out. I meant to ask you last time I was here.
Yeah, should have a quick short one tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, more next week, or at least one next week, one longer one next week.
Sweet, dude. Well, I'll be excited to check that out. And I'll post it onto my community page that's in YouTube here. Since, I mean, this is really about the only platform I keep up with these days. Because I really don't have time for the other ones. All right. Furan says, have you kept Ratocentris ornatus? Looking for technique recommendations for them. Was wanting to do shrimp with them, but unsure on how they would do in a heavily plated tank. Since they're kind of a smaller rainbow, you might get away with it. You definitely have to have rock piles for breeding your shrimp to where the adult's going to get to. But the only problem with that too, rocks and rainbow fish don't really go along together. Because if you don't set it up properly and the rainbow fish can get into it, they don't know how to get back from it. They know how to go forward. They don't know how to go backwards very well. So it can end up being a trap for them. I don't know if you want other fish or if you want to try to breed them, but if you're just looking for other fish for them, any kind of tetras, you got loaches, cory cats would be good, rice fish, all kinds of stuff, guppies, endlers, you can pretty much keep anything with them. And they do like more of their water on the softer to neutral side. Even though they can live in some hard water, but they do actually prefer a softer water. So hope that helps you. And Ron Harriman says, how about let Nathan field a couple of questions on here? Break the ice. Well, I'm just waiting for him to jump in, and I'm just trying to make sure that you guys have some kind of audio coming through here, and we're not sitting here awkward. But yes, feel free to jump in at any time. And thank you, Ron Harriman, for breaking the ice, brother. I always enjoy people who can break the ice. Yeah. All right, and we are at the bottom of the chat. So if you guys got a question or maybe want Nathan to answer a question, throw them out to you. And Lido Loco 4Fish, thank you so much for the congrats there. Appreciate that. And hello, Zen Ginger. Always great to see you in here. She's been a huge supporter of the whole aquatic community. I see her everywhere, all over the place. And she has been absolutely amazing for our community. Chris Trapp as well. Always great to see you in here, brother. Says, Lucas, have you ever defeated duckweed? I have. Duckweed does not stand a chance against me.
I can vouch for that. There's no duckweed in this entire fish room. Nowhere. I've looked.
It won't be either. I won't ever. I mean, it's actually a good food source for some fish. And if you can handle it, and maybe in Florida, I might get some duckweed. Did you know, actually, if you look into duckweed, it's kind of crazy, the science and technology that they have in duckweed, where they can actually pull electricity and energy from the sun with duckweed, in fields of duckweed, that they can produce like a surmountable amount.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. If you look into duckweed, that's not in the aquarium hobby, but into like more science and industry. It's really wild. Plus, it's high and rich in protein, so which makes it a good food source. But yeah, I've probably got some in the ponds where we'll be going. was just super excited about just playing the waiting games. Any regrets yet? I mean, no, because I know where we're going. I do miss my tanks, though, for sure. I miss a lot in these tanks. And it is kind of weird because I'm not making crap. I saw my graph of everything, and it just went, dunk, So, I mean, I'm just kind of sitting here chilling, waiting to dig some holes, throw some fish in them, and grow some plants for you guys, and get things rolling again and build this new fish room. And I love building stuff, so I'm excited about the journey. I know skills pay the bills, and thankfully I have you guys here to help, because really without you guys, like, I wouldn't have the confidence to just jump like I jumped. And I mean, I really did jump, and luckily you're taking over, and so it's going to build up 2 people, which just helps everybody, helps the community, helps us, because like I've been talking about for a long time, we need more and more people breeding a lot of these types of fish. There's so many types, and we're not even close to having enough to even remotely to scratch on the surface of what we need as American breeders to fulfill the market, because we import so much. And if that ever broke down, oh, we'd be screwed. We need to kind of be prepared for that. Not to mention all the fish that need bred and kept in conservation through like the CARES program and stuff. People say duckweed so hard to get rid of, and I can't keep it to save my life. Weird. Is that your computer?
Maybe.
Oh. So with duckweed, what I will do here, let me flip you guys over for a second and kind of give you an example. And plus, you guys see some tanks here. Look at this Pennywort, just bloop, 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 bloop. It likes to go. It's mixed in with some Rotalia rotundifolia around here. But let's say that there was guppy grass in here, completely full or whatever. I'd scoop net out as much as I could. Make sure I clean my net when I'm done. And then I would make sure there's no other plants in here to, like, if you're entangled to other plants, then, like, you're going to have a hard time. You might as well just trim it and start over or something, because at least keep your lower plants. But you want to blow it all into one corner. And then you get like a deli cup or just any kind of cup. And then you can get all the duckweed in that one corner. Then let the surface tension draw it into that cup. And then check it like after that week, because there'll probably be some hidden somewhere that'll pop up over time. And then just make sure you stay on that. Then eventually it'll be gone. And I have tried like putting Excel in a bottle, because duckweed does not like to be sprayed on a lot, especially if it's like hard water or something like that, and it will actually kill it. But the only problem is if your fish eat that with the Excel sprayed on it, it can kill your fish, which you don't want to do that. Man, I was wanting to take these pygmy loaches. I got pygmy loaches in here, but I don't think I would ever catch them out of that 20-gallon long. Those are multi-squamatas, the dragon rainbows. Be taking those with me for show. Which I think I got some to share with him too, so I'll probably take like half of them and leave him half, or at least breeding for each. But here's like $1, or not $1, but a inch per gallon no filter tank for you guys. Check this out. I know it's hard to see with that glare. It is just full of Melanitania parvas. Absolutely full of them. Wesley's tank. That's definitely over the inch per gallon naturally with no filter. And tons of plants. And that's that tank that was in the thumbnail. Alright. Now that we're back from the field trip, let's get back to some questions. I wanted to at least answer on a way to get rid of that duckweed. Oh, excuse me. Like hammered a whole foot-long sub before I got on here. Christopher Gonzalez says, I'm not sure if this has been answered. Does the new owner have new plans for the fish room? Any new plans yet?
I guess the probably biggest plans at this point will probably just be a bit of rearranging once Lucas gets his stuff, the few things he's taking, and then probably looking at adding a couple of projects I've always wanted to work on. We talked about live bears last week that I think I want to work with, and that's probably the first stuff that'll get started for plans, and we'll go from there. Plus, it's getting spring, so outdoor stuff. There's ponds,
Yes.
there's tubs, all sorts of stuff with that will be going on too. So
that's exciting.
yeah.
And also, as you notice, that there's notes everywhere too. So we did go through what was in all the tanks, so he can better organize and get into his own systems of doing things. And I'm super excited to see what you do to it too. And you're planning on doing some tubs outside?
I think so.
Cool.
We've got tons of rice fish, and we've got the Daniels. I think we'll have some fun out there.
Nice, nice. All right, and Jonesy's Fish Room says, would 6,500K daylight be okay for growing plants if I just bought 4 office lights? So yes, actually 6,500K is one of my favorite temperatures as far as when it comes to Kelvin scale and plants.
I just saw someone ask you if I had any regrets. I have absolutely 0 regrets.
Well, that's good to hear. That is good
It has
to hear.
been awesome so far.
Awesome.
Lucas has been great.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks. And Dope Aquatics says, just got here. Not sure if this has been asked yet, but when does Nathan expect to be doing his first video? So he did just answer that.
Yep, and doing a quick thank you video tomorrow. Get to see a little bit of the fish room, and then doing a bigger one next week. That one will probably be on how I bought a fish house.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good start. Nice title. I like it. I like it. And he seems to be on it as far as like doing his own thing. He hasn't been like, oh, what do you think I should do? YouTube video on this, that, and the other. I mean, it sounds like you've really been thinking about it. And it's pretty exciting I like that. I like that. All right, cool. Scroll. And sorry if I missed a question earlier there because you guys did start running in here. Holy moly, Xanadu, thank you so much, Xanadu, for that awesome $20 super chat. That's huge of you. It says, Lucas, what are Nathan's plans for that huge new pond you built last summer? Good luck, both of you. Well, thank you, Xanadu. Thank you. And Xanadu as well has been awesome for the community too.
Yeah.
For a long time.
So the big pond will probably get goldfish or koi, and then the smaller pond will get, we're probably going to do the platinum rice fish in the smaller pond this year. See, because I think it'll be neat with the bridge over it to be able to look down and see all the platinum rice fish in there. I think that'll be
cool.
awesome.
That will be cool. Now, are you worried about a mink getting koi?
Possibly. Yeah,
let
it's
you
already
know,
happened once, so it'll probably happen again.
Oh,
one of the reasons I'm leaning towards goldfish, at least to start out with.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan. Try the goldfish first and see if that mink comes back, because, oh my lord. Makes my head hurt. 22 koi, it wiped out. All
Wow.
Butterfly koi, that was terrible. Danacan Aquatics, always great to see you in here. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, LOL, Nathan just started dropping videos, man. They don't have to be perfect, LOL.
Being perfect hasn't been the problem. Having time has been the problem.
That is the problem. Have you seen Danacan's fish room?
I think I've seen a few of them.
I have a tour video of it. I think he's got a crazy full house full of aquariums like I do. That's pretty awesome. And a lot of different fish too. But thank you, Danacan, so much for the support as always. Christopher Gonzalez says, does Nathan plan on working with Goodeids or possibly Xiphophorus? Or however you say that.
Definitely Goodeids. Yeah, I've got a couple I want to work with of those. So
it's all Goodeids then.
Yes.
I learned that trick at the convention, or that joke at the convention. The good old ALA conventions. Richard Reynolds says, any regrets, Nathan? Oh, we already read that. I bet it's been overwhelming.
It's been a little bit, but this past couple weeks with having Lucas here has been invaluable. It's really helped us to keep this going pretty smooth, I think. It's made it so it's much less overwhelming.
See, granted, I had to be patient. It's kind of been working out for, like, everybody, really.
Yep.
Furian says, Nathan, do you offer pickup? I am in northern Indiana and would rather make the drive down.
Send me an email. I'm not sure about that. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah. I was never a big fan of it because I really didn't have the time. Plus, you just never knew who'd come by. But at the same time, we've got an awesome community and...
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. So I'm sure I would have to think about it, you know. Scroll. Lakewood Zoo, OnlyFans. Thank you so much for the support and the $5 super chat. It says, the videos don't have to be perfect, but we do expect the music to be on point. Better pick the right tunes or not make it too loud. Audio
I'll try
is
to
a big
remember
thing.
that.
Audio can be key for sure. And thank you for the reminder, Lakewood Zoo. Let's see. And have you seen where YouTube has the free music on the creator and the...
I think I have, yeah. I think I've seen that.
Where you can download it and then add it into your program. Scroll. Which I don't even know what program you're using. Did you end up going with the Windows Media?
Yeah, I think for now I'm just going to stick with that.
I actually like that better than the one I'm using on the iMac. Which I had the Pro version, but I don't even use it. Mike Kaputsky says, how do you get rid of Hydra in a shrimp tank? So you can get rid of Hydra the same way that you can get rid of Planaria in a shrimp tank. So you can get fenbendazole, the Paincure C, a dog dewormer. And what you want to do is you get 0.1 gram per 10 gallons. And then you want to put it in like a cup or something, add a couple drops of water, kind of mush it into a paste. And then add a little water into it and kind of stir it up so you get more of a solution. And then you can add some more water in. And then you got a nice bit of like medicine that you can put in the tank. Depending on the tank size, make it as big as you want. But it'll dilute and get around the tank a lot better when you do that. And then you'll want to wait 72 hours after doing that. And then do it again. And sometimes it'll take 2 to 4 times of doing that. So 0.1 grams per 10 gallons, and then wait 72 hours and repeat until gone. But yeah, it'll kill it just like Planaria for Hydra and Planaria. Thomas G, peace to you, brother. Thanks for being a member for 32 months. That is absolutely amazing. And always good to see you in here, brother. Let's see. Christopher Gonzalez says, do you think in the future you'll have time to film more fish room tours of fish keeping in Florida? I do, because honestly, what the biggest thing for me in this fish room is I've made like 600 some videos plus in this fish room. So it really feels repetitive to me. And I'm just like one of those persons I don't really like to repeat myself. And so if I'm like repeating videos, it just doesn't feel the same to me. So there's not like that pizzazz, like, oh, cool, I'm doing this today, guys. And it's something I've done so many times. Like in Florida, I'm going to have, oh, this is new. Check this out. This is how we're going to do this system. This was kind of like my practice fish room. I'm going to have more space to do bigger projects, which are going to be super duper cool. And I've got so many cool things planned out. Like, I'm going to be excited to make videos about them. And like, if I'm doing the basic videos, it's not as exciting to me. And I hate to be selfish, but at the same time, I got to follow my energy. I can't like force things that just don't feel right. So I got to follow that, but I'm super excited to make more videos for you guys.
I saw a question for me about if I'll do Friday night live streams. I will probably hopefully here in the next couple of months start a live stream. I don't know that it's going to be Friday night. Friday night's already kind of
Yeah, I'm not giving you my 9:30 block. We got to keep that.
So I think I'm going to have to find my own day and time. But yes, I do think I'll start doing some live streams so you guys can ask me questions about the fish room.
That's awesome. That is great. And it helps to just like, maybe you don't, it is good to have like some videos in the chamber. Like ideally, that's what I would love to be at, to where I had videos in the chamber and it's all just already set, but just never had the time. Plus Lady LRB, she's not going to be working. That's going to help my time schedule as well. And she's going to be getting into the YouTube thing. So she'll get to understanding that and figuring that stuff out. And with you going live, I mean, it's good to just keep people up to date if you don't have those videos, or just even better, because you can't make a video about everything. I mean, you could, but it just takes that much more time because editing, you guys don't realize, even if it's like a 10-minute clip, that 10-minute clip is going to take you hours to edit. And if it doesn't upload right or process right, or for some reason the videos don't want to go over because the app's just being a pain in the butt, you done spent your whole day just trying to get that thing to go right. Technology is actually like one of our worst enemies when it comes to trying to put those videos together sometimes. But Wallace Freshwater Aquatics, thank you so much for being a member for 23 months. That is awesome. Coming up on the 2-year mark. It says best wishes to you both on your new adventures. Well, thank you so much, Wallace Freshwater Aquatics. And really appreciate that. And good luck to you and your adventures as well. And Joe Estes, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Says Nathan, if you can only pick one fish to keep, one to breed, and one to get rid of, what would you choose in the fish room?
Oh.
That's a tough one.
I'll say Lucipennis to keep, Black Moscows to breed. What to get rid of? Would probably end up being one of the rainbow fish. I don't know which one.
Perfect. That works for me.
I'll let Lucas take one of all the rainbow, some of the more rainbow
I figured
fish.
it'd be like a random guppy or something. There's a lot of those random guppies. No, not letting go of that. There's some crazy cool looking random guppies in here. Some sick ones where I'm like, man, I'm going to be leaving you behind. It's hard to wrap my mind around sometimes, but man, rough question. For me, that would be, if I had to pick one to keep, maculosus, the Glossolepis maculosus. One to breed, Glossolepis maculosus. And one to get rid of, that would be the hard one for me. It'd be a random guppy. Because, I mean, it's only one fish you got to get rid of, and I got lots of randoms.
Yep.
All right, but thank you so much for the fun question and for the super chat. Appreciate that. Patrick Hardy says, LRB Aquatics, Lucas, wait, no. Sandy Cheeks asked, thank you, yes, I will think about all those wildlife bearers, Patrick Hardy, but Sandy Cheeks asked, Nathan, will you dabble in the arts of saltwater?
I have before and probably will at some point in the future, yes.
Ooh, salty. Chris Trapp asked, what's becoming of those M. parva rainbows? That's a really good question, because, I don't know. I'm not taking them. He's going to have them.
We'll see what we can do. We're still in the, trying to figure out how to get everything working in the best way for me. So some of those things will take a little while to get going, but there's a lot of cool things here that we'll probably try to get going on the
hard
website.
Part's going to be catching them out of there. That's going to be the hardest part. See, the thing is, I can get myself, like, all these plants and stuff, like, these tanks are my babies, and I just, like, I love plants, and I really have a hard time of just, like, ripping it out and just making it functionable, like I really should be doing as, like, a breeder and stuff. So, hopefully Nathan doesn't have those qualms that I have, like, with my tanks, and he can just make them more manageable and functionable. Because the biggest reason why those Melanitania parvas never even made it to the market is because, well, I didn't have the heart to rip that tank up. Plus, it's Wesley's tank. He loved it, and like he would have let me sell the fish. He knows that Nathan's getting the fish because he actually wants an axolotl. Wesley has this other tank, which those who don't know who Wesley is, he's my 7-year-old son. So, they may hit the market, and actually with the weather coming up, I don't like to ship those kind of fish during the winter because of the heat pack, and it's kind of iffy, and I mean, they've got some life into them, and it's too risky. But with the weather being nice, I can teach you how to ship those without having to worry. Let's see, Jessica Hussey, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate you, Jessica, and always great to see you around here. Says, LRB, have you seen that blue Anubis? I have not seen that blue Anubis, but sounds like, oh wait, hold on. People on April Fools usually play these kind of tricks. Are you trying to April Fools me, Jessica? I think you're trying to April Fools me. I've seen blue koi before. I've been bitten by this. I've been bitten by this. You better let me know the truth. I think she got me. But it would be cool if there was a blue Anubis for sure. Because they do have like beautiful philandras that you can get like that blue sheen on them. Actually have a blue name. Son of a Quack says, but I do appreciate the super chat and that fun question. Son of a Quack says, do stem plants take ammonia or nitrate faster? I have API, ammo lock, and advice was to use it and cycle media. Guess my HOB isn't cycled and it wasn't. Plants filter in the tank. So ammonia does help kick in all that whole nitrogen cycle a little faster. I would probably say that plants would take up the ammonia quicker than nitrates. If you're only 1 parts per million of ammonia, that's not really that much. I think the limit's like 10 before it becomes like real deadly. So what I would do is just keep letting that run. What people will do, I've seen that don't do, like over in the Philippines, Thailand, how they would start a lot of these waters or their aquariums or ponds is they would take vegetation, cut it up, put it in there. It breaks down, and as that breaks down, that actually creates ammonia. And that is what will help feed the nitrogen cycle as well. Same thing as with fish waste. But that's the way to do it without the fish, is you could use the plants or you just give it time. Because Mother Nature's essence is in the air, it's all over the place. She'll take care of it naturally over time if you try to jump the gun too quick. And if you got a friend with a filter media sponge, just squeeze that in there. That's the way I would do it, instead of waiting for like putting vegetation in there, waiting for that to decay, and going through like a cycle. If you can get some molmy water, you can get that stuff kicked up like that day. Pew Fish Zone says, what is the stripe on the back of cherry shrimp? Usually comes with older age. I have seen it on younger shrimp, but I don't know. We used to call it like the racing stripe back in the day. I've actually bred a lot of those stripes out of my shrimp. You really don't get those out of my shrimp anymore. Some people do breed for that line. I'm not really sure what actually causes it, to be honest. It's still kind of a mystery as far as I know. Furian says, Nathan, do you plan on going to regional fish events? Achilles Fish Carnival is coming up at the end of the month here in South Bend.
Yes, I do plan on attending regional events.
I'm gonna miss the Achilles Carnival. That like saddens me. That gets me a little bit clamped. Like that's one of my favorites. I absolutely love the Achilles Carnival, and hopefully, I'm hoping you take over. Like, what do I do? Like, no pressure, no pressure at all. But I am hoping that you take over on the Achilles Fish Carnival, because these people need Achilles. It's a little bit of work. But you take all your money, and you go buy all the Achilles, and you spread them around.
We'll see what we can do.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. And if you guys can ever make it to these Achilles conventions, please go check them out. You guys are going to see some of the coolest fish you have ever seen. Fish that you would never see in a fish store, with so many colors, so many color combinations, and just real cool fish. And tons of people who know how to breed them, take care of them, and like, as far as when it comes to needing breeders in the hobby for any fish type out there right now, killifish is it. And most people think that killifish only live for like a year. Like, yeah, there are annuals, but I've seen those annuals live for over a year. There's a lot of killifish that live up to 5-6 years. Many that live like 3 or 4 years. I've got a Epilotes lamontii in with my barbs, that big barb tank. Like that big. He's been in there for like 5 years plus. He was probably a year or two old whenever I got him. And he's been like king of that tank for a long time. Any of you guys remember my fishocracies that I used to do with the hill trouts and the barbs? That lamontii was one of those running that fishocracy, and he's still in there, still kicking. And it's pretty crazy. So if any of you guys get to go to any AKA convention or any type of killie anything, jump on it. Or take a trip. Like, get crazy and go on a killifish trip. Would definitely recommend it. Wisconsin actually has one too. The Wisconsin Area Killifish Organization or something like that. Waco is one of them. I don't know about in other regions. Like the Midwest region, I don't. But do know that they have an annual convention sometimes. I know Arizona's got a club, Killie Club. So shout out to Arizona for their Killie Club. But yeah, no pressure, Nathan. No pressure.
I have to at least go check it out, though, right?
Right.
That's how all obsessions start, right?
Yeah.
You just have to go. You just need to go check it out.
Yes, you definitely got to go check that out. It is definitely worth it for sure. Like, it's not a big event. It's not just like full of people. It's not like real glamorous. But the fish is what makes it. Yeah, and the people. They're pretty funny. Some of them can be brash, but it's funny. I won't mention names, but they're good people, and they just absolutely crack me up. They're old timers, so I mean, there's a little less filter there. Scroll. Once again, sorry if I'm missing anybody's questions. I kind of did get on a rant there about the killifish. And it looks like you guys are talking. And if you do got a question, I am at the bottom of the chat here. Waco is in November normally, says Furian. I love Furian. He seems to know about these things. My kind of people. SC says, how endangered are Achilles now in the wild? Really depends on where you go, and importing laws can be problematic these days too. And there's all types of Achilles from all over the world. Like, each continent has their own types of Achilles. We got actually a lot of Achilles around us and here in North America as well. Some really cool ones that you would not expect. Like, I saw one of the coolest one. I think it came from Alaska or something. The color on it was just like stupid crazy. Like, I can only visualize it, and I've only seen it once, but it was like a green red kind of looking Achilles, but it was like blended in a way that was just kind of unnatural but natural. It was weird. It's hard to really explain, but that fish went for like a couple $100 for the pair of them.
Wow.
Like, at the last AKA, these fish were going for stupid crazy money, like hundreds of dollars a pair. So if that doesn't entice you, and I'll tell you one thing too, if you guys breed killifish, good money. If you guys like money, breed some killifish. Because there is a huge market for it. Bigger than you'd ever know. Ron R says, Lucas, when is your last day in Nathan's house?
3 weeks ago?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I moved out. Like, he just lets me in the door from time to time. He lets me in here to do Friday Night Live, so I don't have to do them in the hotel. Like, you guys would be like, oh, why are we still looking at this same painting of a, what is it? I think we have like, it's a dandelion field or something. It's just like your basic farm picture. Like, that would get boring after a while. So at least, I mean, we don't have the barbs swimming around. We should take this down. We got 5 minutes left. We're going to take you guys downstairs. We're going to see how the internet works for him. We'll do kind of an internet test because he supposedly has his Wi-Fi done down there, and hopefully we don't drop into Lego Lucas. And then plus we can see the barbs, and we haven't done a feeding at the end for a while, so why not feed them? Have you fed the barbs today?
I think so, but I think
They're
not acting like I did.
Right. They're one of those fish that are always hungry. All right, so let us know how the quality is here. I'm looking out for questions if you do got them. Furian says, once I branched out from cichlids, I fell in love with other types of fish, just like we have to break Nathan out of the livebearer obsession. Yes. Conventions will do that. Go to conventions. You guys, when you realize and see all these fish that are really out there beyond your local fish store, oh my Lord, it's a whole new world. That's why I'm so obsessed. That's why I could have all these hundreds of tanks, build it all up, and want to build up more hundreds of tanks. And there's not many hobbies. Like, I've been through so many hobbies in my life. So many hobbies. And you get to the end of it. It's like, okay, that was cool, you know. But this hobby, there is like no real end to it. Well, it becomes part of you. But let us know how that goes, and if there's any test for a live stream and a Wi-Fi, that is these barbs. Because if it can handle the movement of these barbs and fish, then you're good to go. So let us know how the signal is here. Let's see. Lucas needs to show him the way. I've been teaching him things. And showing him ways.
And while I admit I do have a livebearer obsession, I also have all types of fish obsession. So yes, I will be branching out from livebearers.
Nice. So you heard it there from the man himself. Eric Weathers says, just tuning in, still exercising squatters' rights. That's funny. I like that. Manos Marine says, what's your opinion on copepods? Seems like they are multiplying fast in my crayfish breeding floating plant tank. Actually, those copepods are eating excess of things, and as they eat up like your algae, everything else, or your excess food, which is usually what they're eating off of and multiplying off of, they will hit a population limit like most things. And they will end up eating all the food, and or just lowering, if you're lowering your food intake, their population will lower, but they will die off. If they do, they're only really like calcium. They're not going to hurt your crayfish or anything like that. It's all part of Mother Nature, especially here in the springtime and ponds. You'll see those big time as far as the algae starts growing in the spring and what takes care of it. All right, everybody says it is looking good. Signal is great. You are good to go, Nathan. Have you seen the new Super Red Sinapa pencilfish? Check it out. I have not seen those. Absolutely love the coral reds, though. They are some of my favorites. Some dude says, LRB Aquatics, I bought a $15 TDS meter on Amazon. I have a city water with 7.4 pH, 2 kH, and 4 GH out of my tap. TDS meter says my aquariums have over 1,000 ppm. I'm on city water, and Florida is this bad. So if you're close to the ocean or body of salt water, there's possibly some salinity in there, which can really make those TDS meters go crazy and go like into the thousands. When we were going to move over into Fort Myers, speaking of killifish, here's some killifish for you. When we were going to move to Fort Myers, it had the same kind of rating, and it had to have been coming from the ocean. I don't understand completely what's all in that, but I mean, there is fish that was living in the ponds in the water, and in South Florida in the freshwater, like they live in there fine. So I don't know. That's there's that Lamonti guy that's been in there for years, 5+ years at least. But yeah, I wish I had a better answer for you. But that's more than likely what it is from some salinity, and Florida is definitely naturally hard with all the limestone. So in essence, you probably got really mineralized water, but at the same time, it's kind of like a softer water there. So, which is kind of like backwards if you really, obviously. Does Pennywort tolerate Powerhead current? It would probably be to an extent. So say you had something like this, and you had a Powerhead in here. Maybe if you had like the Powerhead over here somewhere, and it was like pushing more towards here to where the Pennywort would grow to where it didn't feel like it was being swept away. So it would grow into its conditioning in essence. So as the water flows, it would grow and block itself, and then try to stretch out from that to where it could and where the water would flow. But eventually it might just go ahead and cover it all, because Pennywort's one of those strong growers that could probably do something like that. But if you're just starting it off, you probably just want to keep it in a settled spot. What you could do if you do have a Powerhead is, if you ever seen those feeding rings, I actually have a video on it to where you can put airline tubing together and create this feeding ring to where it'll keep the surface, the agitation of the Powerhead away from it, and you'll keep it more in a calm space. And you can use a feeding ring for something like that as well. But all right, we've been on here for long enough. Look at this crypt. This crypt doesn't even have a root or substrate. It's a red metallic. Japanese blue. Still got the algae tanks going. Nathan, you gonna keep algae tanks?
I'm sure there'll still be some.
Still be some?
There's a couple of places where it's coming out.
I mean, it's good for breeding.
There's some places where it'll be good. We'll keep it for breeding. There are a couple of places where it's competing with the plants that it's coming out.
Joel G wants a song to end. We don't do a song to end. We do a song to begin. Ask for the whole world here, Joel. But we appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for hanging out with us, for the support. Seriously, you guys, could not do this without you, and you guys are absolutely amazing. Could never thank you guys enough. And hope you guys have a great weekend. And thank you again. Until next time, everybody, peace. Have a great one. Do 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 do. There you go, Joel.